Hey everybody, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game about walking around Belgium trying to drink some beers called the Belgian Beers Race. Belgian Beers Race is a game from BYR Games and Grand Gamers Guild. Plays 2 to 4 players, 30 minutes a player, which is probably right. I played a 2-player game in about an hour, so that sounds pretty good. And what you're doing in this game is you are a person going around the city of Belgium trying to hit up all the different breweries that you can. You want to buy some beer, you want to taste some beer, you want to get some cheese, you may get some toasts, but by the end of 3 days, you need to make sure you're back at the Grand Palace, or you're out of luck. You're not out of luck, but you're gonna be feeling it in the morning. So that's enough talking about it. Let's just go into the table, see how all that shakes out. All right, so here's a game of the Belgian Beers Race, all set up for 2 players. To set up, you're gonna put the board out in the middle. In a 2-player game, which is what we're doing, you're going to put coaster tokens on 5 random spots, which are these little discs here. They'll go in the appropriate space. I've already done that. Then you're gonna put the appropriate bottle of beer on top of each of those. So I've laid out the board accordingly. You're going to shuffle the level 3 cards, flip in a 2-player game, 2 cards. The rest can go back in the box, but I just let them sit here just because I want to. Put the turn order and game summary card in the corner down here. 3-round game or a 2-round game, whichever you fancy. I would recommend the 3 because 2 will go way too fast. You're going to shuffle all the level 1 cards, put 4 on this side, 3 on this side, and then take the deck face up. Get the dice ready, put the full bottle tokens on the bottle section there, the moon token on 24. Each player will put a disc on the 0 time and the 0 score track, and then you're going to set up your player board accordingly. I don't know how well you can see this, so I've kind of had, I'm going to have this board kind of show you the bottom, this board will show you the top, so you can see the top. But you're going to put the bottle here on the breathalyzer track. The tasting track, you'll put the glass. Over here on the toasting track, you'll put a cube. You'll put a cube on all these separate special brewery tracks, and you're going to put your cheese token on the cheese, and then have all of your visited brewery tokens off to the side. And now we're ready to go. So this game is going to take place over 3 days. A day is going to end when tokens either reach the moon symbol, or everybody has camped, and once you've camped, you can no longer take a turn. So on your turn, you're able to do a couple things. You're going to move from either around Belgium. So everything around Belgium will be 1 movement. So I could move from the Grand Palace over to another space for 1 movement, either by hitchhiking, public transport, or biking. I'll show you all those. Then once you get to the place, you're going to have a couple options. If there's a bottle here, you're going to take it. If there's no bottle, but there's a coaster, you're going to take it. Every bottle and coaster you have at the end of the game and at scoring rounds are going to score you points. And then you're going to be able to take actions based on where you go. So if I go to this one, you can see the green Euro symbol. I could then buy some beer. Every beer I buy is worth a point. And if you see the blue tasting, I could taste some beer. I'm going to get points for tasting, but my blood alcohol is going to go up, so I'm going to get a little bit more tipsy. Or if there's a green and a yellow, which I don't know how well you can see it, but it's right there. If I buy beer, I can also make cheese. Cheese is going to give me points. You can see here, higher I go, the more points. But I can also eat cheese to decrease my blood alcohol level. And if I meet at the same place as someone else, before we do anything else, we're going to have a toast. We might not show that, but basically everyone's going to go up 1 here. You'll get 1 on your alcohol, and your toasting will go up. And you're going to have to spin the same color cube to make that all happen, because we're going to be sharing a drink. So that's kind of what happens there. Now, that was a quick and dirty overview of what we're going to do, so let's go ahead and do it. So pink is first. So on my turn, we're technically starting here on the board, but this is a bigger version of what's going on here. So we're starting here, but in this Belgium section, we can then go to any of these breweries that we want for 1 movement. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because I want to show you some stuff. So what's going to happen is I'm going to try to go to this one. I have 3 options of travel. I can hitchhike. When you hitchhike, you have to roll a die. If you roll this symbol, you fail and you waste 2 time just by trying it and I'm done. Because in this game, whoever's farthest back in turn order or on top goes first. So I do that. If I roll the bus +2 or the Belgian beers race symbol, then I've succeeded. There's a way to get around that, but I don't want to show you that yet because I can't. The bus, I can roll. If I roll anything except for the bus symbol, the +2 bus symbol, I just pay the cost. If I roll the bus +2, I have to pay that plus the +2. Biking, I can just do it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I would just move one time for biking. And I'm going to move over to this one. So I move over to this brewery, B2. I take this and I just put it next to my board. That's worth 1 point at the end of the game. I was the first person to visit that brewery, so I get that. Then what's going to happen is I can spend one time to buy beer. So I can buy beer and I can taste beer here. So I'm going to buy beer. So I'll spend one time. I'm going to buy some beer. When you buy beer, you're going to buy the color of the brewery that you visit. You can buy up to 3 cubes. So I'm going to buy 3 cubes of brown beer. And they'll go in your backpack like this. Your backpack can hold, 24 different spaces. And that's, what all you can hold. If you ever have to take beer after that, and you don't have any room, you can't take beer. And I can also taste. That also costs a time. So I've bought some beer. I'm going to taste some beer. What happens when you taste is you move your glass up, 1. All the points that you're going to get are the space above your glass. So I've now gotten 2 points for tasting, but my blood alcohol also moves up 1. My breathalyzer. Then I'm going to look over here to see if I've completed any of those goals. Have I paid money to buy yellow cubes? No. Have I tasted black beer? No, it was brown. Have I paid money at 25? 25 is over here. So I'm not even close. Have I camped? No. These are the only 4 that are active. These are what's going to be sliding in once someone completes those. Then, because I've visited here, I'll take one of these visited tokens and put this on B1. And I know that I have visited there. And you're going to get points at the end of the game for as many. You want to try to visit as many breweries as you can. So that's why you're going to see that. You're going to count up how many you visited. And that is my turn. So now this player is farthest back, so they get to take a turn. And I think what they want to do is they want to visit this yellow one. So they're going to go ahead and bike as well, because it's the easiest method. It's guaranteed. So they're going to come down here, and it's cheap. Everything's 1, so there's really no point in not biking. They're going to take this, put it in their supply. Then, I don't know if you can see that, so I'll put it up here. Then they're going to be able to take the same actions that I did. So they could buy beer. So they're going to do that. 1, to buy 3 yellow cubes of beer. 3 bottles of beer. So they get 3 yellow cubes. I'll put them at the top so you can see here. Then, because they've bought yellow beer, they can take this card. It's worth 2 points at the end of the game. They'll take it, put it face down there. And then they can also taste yellow beer. So they'll spend another time. They will taste some yellow beer, so they'll go up. I know you can't see this, but I'm still doing it. It's the same thing I did on my turn, basically. So they're at the same stuff as me. And then because they're done now, they're going to take one of their tokens and go this way. Now, I'm going to try to show you a different method of travel. So let's go ahead. So green is on top, so they're first player still. So they're going to get out of Belgium. And I think what they want to do is they're going to, where do they want to go? I want to get some cheese. Can I get cheese? No, but I want to get some brown. So green's going to try to go here. That's going to take 2 hitchhike, 2 bus, or 3 bike. I want to hitchhike because I want to show you that. So when you hitchhike, I got to roll this die. Whoops. All right. Because I rolled the Belgian beers race symbol, I succeed. So what I do is I spend my 2 time. I've hitchhiked successfully. And now I'm leaving Belgium, and I'm going over to this brewery. Now I take this because I was the first person there. It's green. Then I can buy brown beer, which I will do. Buy brown. I can take 3 brown cubes. And then I can also taste beer, which I will do. I'm not close to being drunk yet, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm done. Then because I've visited this brewery, I will put my token out. All right. And then I want to show you how to toast, so I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to try to follow them in their footsteps. So I'm going to use the hitchhiking as well. So I'll roll, and I succeeded as well. So I get to hitchhike. So I will go this way. Takes 2 time. Now before I do the actions at this location, we have to do a toast. The way the toast works is, because I am doing the toast, I get to pick a color beer. So I'm going to pick brown. We're both going to drink a brown. So I take a brown, they take a brown. Then what happens is, we're each going to do the following steps. We're going to taste the beer. We're going to bring up our alcohol level. And then we're going to bring up our toasting up a step. So we're now, instead of getting -5, we're going to get 2 points. So they're going to do the same. Up, up, up. Okay? And now, I get to take the actions of this. So I can pay 1, and I can buy, and I can drink. So I'm going to buy first at brown. So 3 brown. I'm rolling in the brown cube. Oh, and after green's turn, these cards would have slid down. This would have slid down. And then this one becomes available. All right, well, it shows you what's coming up. It's not available. But now if we travel by bike more than 4, we can take that card. So I got 3 brown cubes. And then I'm going to spend another 1 to taste a brown beer. So we'll go up and up. All right, now it's my turn again. I want to show you one more method of travel. I want to show you biking, because I want to show you something important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bike over to this black one for a couple reasons. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to bike. It costs 6 time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A couple things happen now. I crossed this threshold. I went from 8 to 9. When you cross this bottle, you can flip this token, and you can break the bottle. And I can get rid of one of these goals and bring in another one at the end of the round. And I'm going to do that. So I'm going to get rid of camping. That's kind of a lame goal. So we'll get rid of that. And then at the end of the round, we'll slide in more. Then what's going to happen is I'm at this black one. So I take the black. Then, because you see the compass, a compass is a special type of brewery. There's meeples, which you can see here. There's a meeple. There's heart. There is compass. And then there's Trappists, which are these ones with the hexagon that may also contain another symbol. So I'm at a compass. When I'm at a compass, what I can do, on the compass track here, I move up. I'm trying to get these tracks to come up as well, so I want to visit those special breweries as much as I can to get points. Then, because I'm at this location, I can now buy black beer. So I will do that 1 time to buy 3 black beer. And because I rode my bike 6, I'm going to show you that as well. So because I rode my bike 6, anytime you ride your bike over 4, your blood alcohol level goes down. So my blood alcohol level goes down. Now I can also spend 1 to taste, and I will do that. So I'll taste, and now because I rode my bike, I worked some of it off, so I'm good to go. Then at the end of my turn, this is going to go up, come down, this will come down, slide, slide. All right, and that's how the game's going to keep going for the first round. Once someone gets to here, or we've all camped, we'll reset this. This will go to 32, so the second day is longer. We will shuffle in these round 2 cards with the round 1 cards, and then come out, so there's going to be some better goals. Then we're going to score some points. We're going to get points for every one of these bottles or coasters, so bottles or these that we have on site are with us. And we're also going to score how many points for our tasting. So right now I would get 8 and they would get 8. Then we're going to play through round 2. Well, then you take the tokens. Whoever, like if it ended like this, then you take the tokens and bring them back. The other player is now first. And if somebody is on this space, they're going to start with a -1 thing. If you're all the way up here, you're going to start with -4 time, which is bad. A couple other things on this player board. If your cheese gets all the way up to the top, you can take one of these tokens, and every token you have over here is worth 5. And remember, you can always eat cheese to reduce this. So like if this player was here, they had 3 cheese, they could go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 to get back down to here, so on and so forth. If you get all the way up to your toasting, you can put one of these. If you get the toasting track all the way up to the top, You can put one of these over here. They're all worth 4. And that's effectively it. Every cube you have in your backpack at the end of the game is worth a point. All these are worth a point. Any completed goal cards that you have is worth a point. We'll score these goals. So if I get all my backpack full of beer, 6 points. If I visited locations 4 and 27, 8 points. And that's effectively the game. If you ever, when you go over 50, because the score track only goes to 50, you take one of these. It'll mark 50. You can just put it right there. Same thing. You know, we made it to like 200 last time, so we had a couple of these on our board. And if you ever fail a roll for hitchhiking, so when I was hitchhiking, I failed this. I could take this. Next action I do of hitchhiking, I get to roll 2 dice. As long as I roll 1 success, I'm successful and I could hitchhike. But if I rolled these 2, I would be unsuccessful, and I could then flip this and I could roll all 3 dice to try to make it a better probability. So that's kind of what's going on with the game. I know that was a quick and dirty overview. It's a big board. There's a lot going on the tracks. It's really pretty straightforward once you figure it out, but it's hard to get that through in without making the video super long. So that is how you play the Belgian beers race. Let's go up the top. See what they think about it. All right, well, that was the Belgium beers race. So this is a game that I saw on Kickstarter, and I thought, man, this theme is amazing. You're just going around Belgium trying to drink some beer, buy some beer. And, you know, I didn't back it because it was kind of pricey. You know, I'm a cheapskate, have a small budget. Went to Gen Con, it was there. It was $85, a little bit out of my budget. Went to Origins, and it was there again, but it was not $85. It was on Origin pricing. It was $65. Still a tad bit out of my budget, but I've passed up buying this game twice before. I couldn't let it slip out of my hand a third time, so I had to get it. And man, am I glad I did. So this is a really interesting game. It's effectively moving around this map, trying to race people to get to different breweries to grab those little bottles because they're each worth a point. Maybe get a coaster because they're worth a point. Trying to make beer, drink beer, buy beer. But you're also trying to manage the method of movement which you want to do. Hitchhiking is usually cheaper, but it's the riskiest because you got to roll the die, and you could fail and have to move up 2 times for absolutely nothing. Busing, also have to roll the die. It could be a little more expensive. Biking, usually more expensive travel, but guaranteed. Now, one thing I didn't show you is when you're hitchhiking, you can spend 2 beer per unit of movement. So if the hitchhiking took 2, I could spend 4 beer and be a guaranteed success on the hitchhiking. I spent 4 points to do it, but I don't have to roll that die, and I didn't possibly mess myself out of a turn. So that is a benefit of that, but still pricey. Then you're trying to get to those special breweries so you can move up on those tracks. Then you're trying to meet up with other people so you can toast them so you can move up on that track. So I lovingly called Tapestry Tracks the Euro game. I think this may be Tracks the Euro game because the time track, the score track, the cheers track, all 4 of those special tracks, the drinking track, the breathalyzer track, the cheese track, so many tracks. There's like 8 tracks that you're trying to manage throughout this game, and it's glorious and amazing, and I love it. The production is really, really nice. I like the player bits. These little tokens, the visit tokens, are not my favorite, but you know, there's a ton of space stuff on the board, and you don't want to get too clogged up, so that's fine. I really like these dice. They're nice wooden bits. They're nice wooden dice with the faces on there. It's nice. There's so many of these coaster tokens. In a 2-player game, you're using 5 of them. They're all double-sided. So much randomness. The cubes for when you buy the beer is fine, but these beer tokens are really, the beer bottles are really cool. They actually are shaped like little bottles of beer. The production is nice. I really like the way the board looks too. And one thing I didn't show you on the back of the board, all the breweries that are listed are actually real breweries. So this was designed, this game was, I guess the art was done, which is what the publisher said, was done by a beer label maker in Belgium. And all the breweries, they got actual licensing agreements with them, and they're all in this book here. Every single book, every single brewery that's on the game is listed in this brewery book. So you can read about the brewery and, you know, what they're up to and all that kind of stuff in this book. Has nothing to do with the game, except it gives you kind of a turn order thing in the back, or how stuff, actions and turn orders and all that. But it's a nice touch. Completely unnecessary, but I like it, and it makes me dig it. I don't necessarily love the cover of the box. It's fine. like hops and barley and a picture is fine. Not my favorite, but it's fine. I'm not playing this game for art and components. I'm playing this game for tracks, and that's what I love. So I like this game quite a bit. I've only played it at 2. I'd probably give this a higher rating if I played it at more, because there would be more toasting and more interaction of people meeting up and all that kind of thing. But at 2, I'm going to give this a BGM accepted seal, and it's going to get an 8 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 4 out of 5 wrenches on an arbitrary wrench scale that means absolutely nothing. But we like to give it to games that we enjoy, and that's what I'm going to do. So that is the Belgian Beers Race from BYR Games and Grand Gamers Guild, and I'm Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics. And as always, keep gaming.